In this ruined galaxy, home to tens of thousands of species and nearly as many unstable regimes, each clinging to whatever scraps of legitimacy that they can get their grubby claws, hands, or tentacles on, there is a lot of money in scavenging. Across the blasted ruins of dead worlds, destroyed during the Andromedic Pleiadian hyperwar, one can find amazing technology and artifacts that can make you unspeakably rich, enough to set you up for life on one of the few remaining garden worlds or functional ecumenopoly. Of course, that is if the buyer doesn't kill you, the arcane piece of tech doesn't get confiscated by some three-systems warlord, or if you don't accidentally wind up destroying it yourself somehow. Many a scavenger team has found a garden world creation kit, only to accidentally boot it up during transit, destroying their ramshackle ships and killing them in the process. Many have accidentally found what might have been an advanced piece of medical tech, only to discover too late that their ship is overrun with necro-synthetic anti-bioweapons. To say nothing of the horror there is in finding that what you thought was a zero-point generator was actually a dimensional anchor, and by deactivating it for transportation, you find that the whole moon you and your team was working on got sent back to a different universe, one that can best be described as eternal torment. It's a very dangerous line of work, but the rewards are immense, and most scavengers, or freelance archaeologists as the more well-educated scavvers like to call themselves, agree that the sheer freedom of not being bound to one interstellar warlord state is well worth the risk. Of course, there is a way to decrease the risk, a way to make the odds biased in your favor. And oddly enough, it's to have a small group of humans with you. They say that if you want to find out what some ancient, mysterious piece of tech does without getting DNA reprogrammed into a pile of your microbiological ancestors, you should seek out a human and let them handle it. They have a truly uncanny ability of making sense of, and safely using, ancient and dangerous technology. Often, if you wish to harness the strange tech yourself, they can turn it to do the most unexpected things they were never programmed or built for. Of course, there are problems with having the humans helping you out like that. They don't need a special atmosphere, or a very restrictive diet. Hell, they even work for fairly cheap. The problem with humans is a twofold one. The first problem is to find them. During the hyperwar, their star system was completely and utterly destroyed. The cataclysmic battle, often called the death of the gods, was fought there. The humans still in hushed tones tell tales of the day when the gods died, or as they called it, Ragnarok. That was the battle that ended the hyperwar, destroying both warring sides and leaving our galaxy in ruins. Countless trillions of lives lost in a pointless, nightmarish engagement that raged for a century. Only a small group of humans were successfully evacuated before the battle began. Less than 100 million humans got off their homeworld before it was atomized. Fewer still were safely out of the star system. And with the chaos of that age, humans were spread thinly across the galaxy. They became focused on keeping together with the people they could, at all costs, and not separate again, like they had been separated from the ones who were left behind on Lost Terra. To this day, they are a rare lot, always traveling in clans or tribes, never settling down or finding a world to call their own. They fear the idea of getting stuck somewhere, and some say that the ghost of extinction haunts the entire race, making of them perpetual wanderers, which makes them difficult to track down for anyone who wants to utilize their unique skills with arcane tech. So if you actually manage to find a human to work with, you're in luck. Your risk of getting your mind replaced with that of a precursor criminal after unsafely handling an ancient time prison is now reduced to nearly zero. The second problem is that the humans do not travel alone. When you hire one of them, you hire their entire clan. Sometimes this is just a few dozen humans, but there are some scavvers who find themselves accidentally leading an entire fleet of human junk ships, tens of thousands of humans, and they haven't got a stable and singular culture. So you better make sure you're aware which clan belonging to which tribe that you hire, because they get strange. But you can always rest easy, knowing that humans deliver what you need. Someone who can safely decipher ancient manuals, figure out how to disable the puzzle traps, and find the real artifact that gives you a payday, rather than the fake one which transmutes your ship into wood. And in the end, that's what matters. Sure, you might wonder in amazement at the insane ingenuity of the Koban clan, find yourself enrichened by the ancient culture of the Frenchit clan, or terrified by the ruthless efficiency of one of the many Saxarus clans. But no matter if they worship the tiny bricks and ancient banner, or if they pray to a god who demands that all flesh be covered in public, they all start the same way of testing the ancient tech. The human clan's priest, archivist, technomancer, or other important socio-technological leader makes all the humans chant in one of the ancient dead languages of lost terror. Then the sacred interfacing device is brought forth, the Pese, copied and improved over the centuries from the few ones brought with the original humans off from their homeworld. Then the leader turns the Pese on and off thrice before being satisfied. Then, once the interfacing device has made a connection to the arcane technology in question, the sacred dongle is brought forth. On it is one of the secrets of humanity, something that they claim have kept them alive, taught them to fight the demons in the machines, and ensured their survival. The sacred dongle is then connected to the interfacing device. These rituals can continue, sometimes for days, weeks even. But when it is done, the dongle is safely removed according to ancient protocols. That is when a sentence, ancient and spoken by all humans in all their many strange languages, is shouted aloud so that all might hear. I got this thing to run Doom. And this is the signal that humans now can put this strange piece of technology under their and, by extension, your control. Of course, if the ritual fails, there is another that they will do. But unlike the first one, they don't speak of it, nor let outsiders see it. All that is known of this is that the leading human will exclaim to their fellows in hushed tones, "We must release Skyrim on this." A strange lot. But in a dark galaxy, where a scaver is but one living soul amidst countless trillions, where you can forget all about the promises of peace, prosperity, and progress, where all that once was seems lost, and so much science and technology has been forgotten, now never to be recovered. You can do a lot worse than having a small group of technologically savvy beings like the humans by your side. And more often than not, you get to experience the hidden benefit of humans. If you treat them fairly and with kindness, they tend to become attached to you, and they will consider you, in some way, to be family. And they tend to be quite infectiously likable too. More than one crew of aliens have joined the humans on their endless wandering, after they became fond of their wanderlust-stricken friends. That being said, now that you've got an answer to why all the good scavers have humans in their crew, do you want to hire some? Because I know of a small clan, about 100 or so, who aren't currently employed by anyone. They're staying at a small moon in this system. You'll like them. They're a clan from the Canuck tribe of humans, real friendly types, polite too, and they're very good at working in low-temperature conditions. All I need in exchange is, well, maybe a lift to the next star cluster. Warlord around here is getting too uppity for my tastes. You don't have to answer right now, of course. I'll give you a couple of days to think about it. I'll be here waiting.